So, in what way is a Jailhouse lawyer like a Instagram model? Did we get any clarification on that?
I have no fucking idea. I really don't watch Flacco. I just heard it and was like, all right, well, I'm gonna talk about that when I can. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going through his fucking head. But like I said, me and Flacco ain't beefing. I just had to bring it up and clear it up. And hopefully he's enlightened from this little bit of information I just spit out.
Yeah, no, he's got a lot of wild opinions to say the least, for sure. Okay, so one thing I've seen happen in the media recently is that so obviously you covered the PNB Rock murder and everything like that. A lot of
Yeah.
information has come out since then. The one thing that sort of seems to be pretty clear is that his girlfriend was not responsible for getting them killed. But you
Yeah.
definitely had some people like Nicki Minaj who are basically throwing her under the bus the day of the love of her life getting murdered in front of her. Uh, how do you feel about the way that she was treated publicly in the wake of all that?
I would say a lot of people acted off of emotion. That doesn't justify what they said. I think the next most important thing is apologizing if an apology is due. A lot of people had an issue with the title of my video and the context of my video because I said he was murdered after she posted the location. I don't feel that anything I said is wrong because I'm giving a timeline. She posted a location. After that location was posted, he was killed. Was that the sole reason he was killed? Apparently not, with all the new details that came out. But I still don't feel like my timeline is a problem. I think Kodak Black said she might as well kill herself, and then he doubled back and sent out an apology. So that's what I mean by people acted off of emotion, but at the same time, there's people that righted their wrong. And whether or not she accepts that doesn't really matter. It's just the fact that you went as far as trying to right that wrong.
Right. Yeah. I mean, all that seems pretty crazy in retrospect now when you think about the fact that he apparently went to the step of taking her phone away for that long period of time. Just the fact that she then would have even had this allegation, even if though it seems like that's not actually the case or the reason why he got killed. I mean, that's some
Yeah.
scary shit right there. Just that I don't know. I feel for her that she had to live through that.
Yeah, it's tough. And I mean, I've never been through something like that. I can't really imagine going through something like that. But it's just like I said, everybody was moving off of emotion when that happened. A lot of people were hurt over the situation. And with situations like that, people are always looking for somebody to blame.
Right. How do you feel when you saw that the dudes who actually got arrested for it was basically like a father and son duo, where apparently the dad had been coaching his kid to commit robberies like this, and he fucking went and picked him up to go do this to PNB Rock. How'd you feel when you saw that?
I feel like how I said earlier, the people that say we're accountable for what's going on should be fucking looking at the parents of the people that are doing shit because usually the kids follow the chain in command. If the father isn't shit and the mother isn't shit, the child usually doesn't turn into a fucking lawyer. So it's like, I wasn't really surprised because I mean, we got the case out of Jacksonville, Florida with Queso, who allegedly committed two murders, and his father was the getaway driver in one of the murders after he allegedly shot somebody who had just did a job interview, drove off, crashed the car, ran into someone's house, took a lady hostage, swapped their clothes with her husband's clothes, and then had his own father come pick him up. Whole crazy ass story. I don't know if everything that I just said is correct, but uh, it's not uncommon for the son to follow in the father's footsteps. It's not uncommon for a son to hit a prison yard and see his dad on the same compound. So I think a lot of that just comes down to accountability at the same time. And people that are trying to focus on us need to focus on the actual issue. But the reason they don't is because if you try to hold that father accountable, he's going to put a bullet in your fucking head. It's going to be a different discussion. So
Can you
shit actually,
in the furthest recesses of your mind, can you imagine at some point in your life having a child that your own flesh and blood, and then you're basically like facilitating them murdering somebody? It's so hard for me to imagine how you get to that place in life where that's how you're living.
no. I got my affiliation. You know what I'm saying? I've been repping something for mad long, and a lot of people already know that. Never will my daughter be anywhere involved with anything like that. She doesn't get introduced to anybody. She's never around that shit. I'm not. That's something that I chose to do with my life. That's not something that she's going to get brought up in. And I think it would be different if you're brought up in a certain neighborhood and you still live in that neighborhood. But the fact that I'm at where I'm at financially, she's not in the hood. I still have people fucking thinking I'm on Dudley Street, bro, 3 years later. Like, oh, he got all this money, but he still lives on Dudley Street. I done moved 2-3 times after Dudley Street. So it's like, people will have their perception, but my daughter is so far away from all of that shit, and she's never going to be introduced to it. The only thing she's going to know about it is what I tell her about it.
Definitely.
This 1090J clip is from a Patreon exclusive interview that we did. So you can go check it out by supporting us at patreon.com/nojumper or onlyfans.com/nojumper.